starting again with your sources for films. You were talking about the New York Children's Film Festival, G-Kids.
Yes, G-Kids. I love working with them. They've been wonderful partners and very supportive.
Well, you worked with them in New York, right?
No, I didn't work with them until I started the Portland Film Festival.
Okay.
But I knew their work for a really long time. So last year we were a part of the Best of Fest tour.
Okay.
And that was a huge hit at the festival. That's
great.
That was a huge hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York Film Festival.
Yeah, thank you,
G-Kids.
Yeah,
G-Kids. Yay, G-Kids. Okay, so they're a stalwart. They've been around 18, 19 years, something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And Liz Shepard at the Seattle Children's Room. Liz, thank you.
We know Liz from Chicago.
Yeah, she's been doing it for over 20 years.
Yes, she has. Yeah. Yes, she has.
And she was instrumental in helping me start the festival.
That's good. That's good. Glad to hear. Liz and I worked together in 1993.
I bet. What was it like then in Chicago, putting together the festival?
Wow, not enough manpower.
Yeah.
But still, great people, great volunteers. Yeah. Good location, the Facets, and City Hall, Chicago, beautiful. But just a lot of films run through. Every film has a filmmaker who has needs and should be taken care of well. And we showed them each twice, I believe. And they had a great program bringing kids to the festival on school buses.
Oh,
so
that's great.
They arranged the busing, and this was excellent. And I tried to model that in Mill Valley. And so that was really good. And then I was going to, was there some place else?
Oh, ECFA.
ECFA.
Yeah. And that's been a wonderful resource.
Yeah.
And that's given me the ability to have a platform where new filmmakers send me their work directly, which has been really exciting. And through ECFA, we had our first world premiere last year.
Cool.
Yeah, a Canadian film called Limina, which was really.
I didn't see it.
It was it was for older children. It was a live action film about a gender neutral child, and it actually won a lot of awards in Canada. And the child that starred in the film won the first ever award for a gender neutral role, which we were very proud to be a part of.
Very good, and that's timely. As Oregon is the first state to have a gender X on the driver's license.
Which is why I'm so happy. One of the many reasons I'm happy to live here is that we support so many different people and their choices.
Yeah. There's some tough stuff happening in Oregon.
Yes.
But that progressive spirit that's underlying.
Hopefully it'll prevail.
Yeah, I think so. I hope so too.
So tell me, you were telling me about one of your favorite films, La Nota Finale.
Yeah. So La Nota Finale is from Maite Rivera Carbonell, and it was one of the films that I judged at the Berlinale's Kinderfilmfest, as it was called then. I sat on the international jury. 5-minute gem. It was just a perfectly told story, a nugget of a story of a little boy who's trying to complete a pan flute made of bottles, a bottle flute.
Right.
And so the soundtrack is also someone playing the bottle flute.
Oh, that's perfect.
Wonderful. What it allows us to do is see Havana. The boy goes through the streets of Havana looking for the perfect bottle to finish his bottle flute. What an excellent story mechanism. And so through that we see the streets of Havana, which of course we couldn't see then as Americans. And we saw a lot of lively street life. People living, bringing their tables to the streets, playing cards on the streets, and even fighting in the streets. There was one scene where a man picked up a bottle, and the boy's watching it, and he sees it's the perfect bottle, and he shatters it and goes yelling at a woman who won't let him back in the house. So this is stuff that we might not show our children unless it's guided, unless we have a film like that presented in the right way, talking about the relationship between Cuba and the United States, perhaps, and how children in Cuba can still be living lives similar to children in the United States, even though we're not allowed to see them. La Nota Final, I also mentioned that this was the perfect film that I tried to convince the mayor of San Francisco to see. I showed that to him in a 9-minute meeting. I had 5 minutes of the film and 4 minutes to convince him that international children's films should be supported in San Francisco. Wow. And he made a promise, but didn't keep it. But now he's the lieutenant governor, and we still hope to jog his memory about that. And so that's on the books.
Well, telling a whole story in 5 minutes, any story in 5 minutes, is complete mastery.
Exactly.
Really is.
And she's doing more work. I haven't seen a children's film from her since.
Okay.
And like many filmmakers, their film school, Opus, is a film about childhood. And just to diverge on another topic, I've interviewed many American filmmakers at the Berlin Film Festival whose films have made it into the children's section. And they say that they weren't guided in making their film for children. In fact, they were often dissuaded from making a film for children because they have to make a film that's going to be their calling card.
Right.
And so if there is no one who can really guide them, then of course we don't really have a curriculum, and therefore we're not going to have more films made for young audiences. There's not going to be a specialty, yet they're still being made.
They are in amazing amounts. Yeah.
But what if they had guidance and more
support
and more emerging filmmakers were making films with guidance and understanding really what they were doing, understanding the cognitive development, understanding how they could possibly support language learning better, and feeling great that they're making a film like that instead of feeling like it's an uphill battle.
Right. Do you think so much of the motivation is financial, that they look at this like, this has to be my calling card if I make this film, and it's, you know, geared towards children, is that going to cut me out of some sort of famous filmmaking career path? Yeah.
And you know what, it's up to us to talk about the film school in Iran that Abbas Kiarostami helped. Oh, there we are. Film school.
Film school.
Film school in Iran. And I wonder what... Okay.